All right. You can go ahead. Continue.
Yeah. Okay. Now I've shared the screen. You can see the screen now. You can see it, right? Can you all see the screen now?
Yeah, I can see.
Okay. Now, I was talking about one other property to mark. Now, if you see now, this one is different. I've highlighted this scale market. You can see I added some different things like italicized. I also added to make my font size, font weight bold, and also increase the font size. And I also gave a an highlight, like to highlight my text. There's another thing I want to add, one more property here before I close this part and say the other things I want to say. Now, for this, I can decide to just give one other property. Let's say, let me close this one, take out this part, and I want to do something. I want to underline a particular text. I can use the HTML property shift less than INX greater than something like this. Then I say experience investment company. Okay, I want to cut this one, cut it, and paste it within here. So you see now this text is being underlined, something like this. The text is being underlined. So that's how we can add lines to our HTML text. Please permit me. I want to check if some persons are waiting for me to admit them. Okay, nobody. Okay. Let's just move on. Now, that's that for that, using some CSS properties within the HTML. Now, there's another thing I want us to note. How to add some HTML symbols like the copyright symbol and some other symbols too. Or I'll just give you the hint on how to do it. You can look that up online by asking Google, okay, how to add this particular symbol. But I'm going to give us a few here. Now I'm going to be using the H tag so that it will be bold and bigger for us to see. I'll put everything inside within my H tag. I can say H1. I'll open the H1 tag and I'll say, I'll call the and sign. I'll say shift 7, which is the and, then hashtag, something like this, and I'll say 169. Now, this 169, I'll close it. I have to close it with a semicolon. You can see what I just did now. And sign hash 169. It will give us this copyright symbol. To give us this copyright symbol, I can decide to say copyright of this video, Austin, okay, Bata, something like this is my name. So you can see copyright Austin, okay, Bata, something like this, and I can say comma 2023, something like this, 2023. You can see it will give us this, something like this. You can do this maybe at the bottom part of your website. You can just add something like this, maybe for any video you made or anything you created. You can decide to just put a copyright and say, oh, this is my work, this is something I've done so far, something like this. You can do that. Another symbol we can add in our website, I'll still use the H1, is the let's say pound sign, something like this. I'll say and hashtag, let's say, let me just use euro, something like euro. If I type euro, I'll type this one and okay, sorry, instead of putting euro, let me just use the hex code. I'll say 833. 6464, something like this. You see now, this one is euro. I can call it euro sign, something like that. I can call it euro. You can see the sign here. This is the copyright. This is the euro sign, something like this. You can do many things with this. I can decide to change this one and add our naira sign. I will say the and sign hash 838358, something like this. Now when I do that, you see this one is for naira, something like this. You can put all these symbols. There are many millions of symbols. For currency symbol, you can search for that and add it. For let's say alpha, beta, all those mathematical symbol, you can do that. Whatever symbol you want to use, you can use it. I can just add one more to show you something like, maybe for your company now, you built a company and you want to have your trademark. For trademark sign, you can just say and hashtag, then you can say 8482. That's the sign for trademark, something like this. You can see TM, and within that TM now, I can just decide to write something. And I'll just say DTech, D-Tech, something like this. Now this is the DTech trademark, something like this. Okay, so whenever you want to write any symbol, this is how you put it on the web page, something like this. And this is one way you can do that. Okay, I believe this one is clear to us. Another thing we can add, we can also add emoji to our website. I can still put that within the A tag and the H tag. I can call the same thing and say the and sign, the what's it called, the hashtag, say 128512, something like that, or five, any emoji. When you keep changing it, you see how it is now. That's an emoji. I can decide to change the value. Let me say 13, as in 32, something like this. You see now, this one is a sleeping emoji. I can decide to change it 35. You see another emoji 38, something like that. Just keep changing the value and the emoji will be changing. It all depends on what you want, but you can get a specific emoji of your choice at once instead of scanning through the number. By just going online and say emoji for this, it will give you the hex value. These are called hex value. Okay, let me say 28, and you see a different emoji like this. So it all depends on what emoji you want to put. And this one now, I can decide to do anything I want with this. I can just tag it and say 1, 2, and I can say, oh, this one is a laughing emoji. Something like this. Say this one is for laughing. You can just tag this in your website. Do anything. Like if you are creating a chat website, you can put all these emoji hex inside there so that whoever is choosing, they can just pick anyone and it will display. It all depends on what you want on your web page. So this is a way of adding emoji to your website. So all these and more are the things we need to learn in HTML. I believe with this class now, I've been able to touch a few things that we can really do with HTML. If you go to the video, watch the video, and you will see what I've done so far, all the things. It's just like almost 2 hours video I made concerning this. I couldn't add all these other aspects of HTML because of the timing and the size of the video. So like this night now, I decided to touch more things so that we can see what this video is all about. Like this, with the addition of this one, you see that we have a comprehensive HTML class. And I believe this video is going to be helpful to everybody who is interested in watching. Like I said, if you watch the video, you should have questions to ask. me. You should have questions to ask me. And I believe we all have questions to ask concerning this class. If you have any question, it's almost 9 o'clock. If you have any question, you can ask. And it will be nice for us to do that. So get understanding of what we're really discussing. So any question, I'm open for question. Hello? Hello?
Go through it again and again. And if I'm having any what's it called, challenges, I will post it on the platform.
No problem. You can do that anytime. I'll respond to any question concerning this. Okay? Anytime, just reach out to me.
All right.
Just send the listen on the web page and the WhatsApp page, so that whoever sees this can even contribute to that and for the learning also. Okay?
All right. So
watch the very first video I sent. That's one.
Okay.
You get everything you need to know. This is an addition. Okay, this is an addition, just a small, short video to add up to what I said in that video. So you can watch that main one, get everything, and add up to this one. So maybe by the next class, when I'm coming online again, I will start with CSS. Then I'll start styling some of the almost all the things I've talked about. I'll start giving some beauty to them, all the styles and everything, so you all can see what it really does. Okay.
Okay, no problem.
So I believe this video is helpful to you guys. So Mr. Dave.
But sorry, before I go now, I think something just dropped. Something just came.
Okay.
So I want to ask all of these knowledges. I'm just trying to think. Is there a way we can? I was thinking maybe. I know you are showing us how we can use HTML to build one or two things. Okay, I'm just thinking, is it possible we see like a work that have been built already? Because this is, or we've not gotten to the stage of building a website, or we cannot use this.
Okay, this is like a skeleton. Okay, I have some, although you're not the only one I teach physically too. Okay, for my students in my office, let me just open a file for you, okay, so that you see the work I have done, some work I have done, even for my company too. Like, you see this web page here now. See this website here. You see this website here now. Something like this. Yeah, this is a work my company sent to me to do some things on. You see now, this is a work to me. Okay, but that's not it. Let me show you what I've done so far. Let me just show you some of my work. Okay, let's say open file. Okay, desktop. Okay, okay, this one is for some of my students. Let me open this one so you see. Okay, I just did some of these things yesterday, like some practicals we were doing 2 days ago, rather. We were doing some of these things. Now, this is one of the things I work with my students. Okay, now for this one now, this is just a page we created. We put background, and this might be company name. You can put your name or any logo here. This is for the home page. This is for the about page. We're working on this, so I show them something. See, you can click on this contact page. It will take you to, you can see the page we created in the class. It has form, and it also has country, like where you can select some things, like, oh, this for Nigeria. When you post it, it will send. You can see this slide. Now, this is an animation we did using the cascading style sheets. That's the CSS. So it will run from this, just showing us, oh, this registration page. See an image here that we did. And also, if you check well, you see it's just that this thing is blocking it. Let me just take this one up here. You can see that copyright I just did now. Copyright 2023 Austin. Okay, but something like this at the base of the website. anything like all these things I've been talking about, they are all useful. You heard me say something about search box, right?
Yeah.
Input box. Now this is how we use it, and we can put it, just do it any way you want. This is a button. The button I just did, I had to style it by stretching it and giving it a different color. You see, if I put my cursor there, it changes color. You see now different colors like that, like that. This one too, you can search for anything you want. Now this image, I can also go back to the home by clicking home here to take me to the home. Now you see this home, I also did it so that it will be smaller in size, like for phone version too, something like this. And when you click by the side, you see now those texts have gone out. Okay, they disappear. Those home, if I click here now, you now see them here, home and this thing. So if I click this contact, see now that contact page has come up again. I can click here and take it back home. Okay, so you see how it is. So many things you can do with the web page. I'm just showing you the basic so that you will know everything, how they are being placed on the web page. Okay, CSS is just to style them, give them beauty, color, background, and also position them where they are supposed to be. If you check the HTML I've been doing, it's just on a particular page. If you see all the things I'm doing, they are just in one line on the left side, left. Right side, but I have to use CSS property for that. Okay, there are so many things. That's just one of the projects. Let me show you more. Okay, I did this one. Okay, that's a different thing. Let me show you what we have in work. Okay, some of the things we've done so far. Let me see this practical. Okay, like this one now. This one for some of my students who were doing JavaScript, we created something like this. This is a to-do list. I can decide to say, okay, I have to teach today. I have to teach tonight, something like this. So when I add it, see now, it will appear here. But now I am done teaching, right? I am done teaching. I will double click this. Sorry. Let's say teach now, something like this. That's to-do list. I can have more. Okay. The next one say I am done teaching. Something like that. I will add it to the list. See now, teach now. I started my teaching. I can just create. See now, I've stroked that one. Even I am done teaching. If I click on it, I've stroked it already. Okay. If I decide to say, oh, I am done teaching, let me double click on this one. It will disappear, remaining this one. If I want to clear everything, I'll clear with the times button. Something like this. These are basic projects I've been teaching my students in class. For those who have graduated to, they've passed the HTML and CSS courses. Now they are doing JavaScript. So we are combining HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So this work comprise HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Okay. So there are so many things you can do, but everything starts from the basic. Like this one now, this is a JavaScript project. Can you still see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Hello?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
This is
I
a
can.
JavaScript project. Okay. We call this one password generator. You can see now, I just did a basic something. I can decide to style the web page and do something. If I want to generate password, I'll click on this button. See now, password has generated. Password, any password I want. I can decide to increase the password. This is just password of 6 letters. I can decide to increase it and say, let the password be for 15 letters. I can just say 15. I've given it a number. Okay, let me come back. So you see now my password is longer, something like this. And I can copy this password. I can copy it and paste it anywhere I want on my web page. Do you understand? There are so many things you can do. All you just need to know is just to know the basic. the reason why I'm teaching this basic class is for those who really, oh, they want to really start this thing, or they are just doing this and they want to start this. So there are so many things you can do. There are so many things you can do. I know I have so many. Okay, this one is another project I did with my students, how to create a game. Like this one now is a game, rock, paper, scissors game. If you check it now, let's say player one and computer, I choose rock. Now computer choose scissors, I lose. I choose paper. Computer choose scissors, I win. I choose paper again. Computer choose paper, I draw. Something like that. I choose scissors, computer choose paper, I lose. I created this one and used it to teach my students, and they now know how to create games. Some of my students even created a blog, and some created some things because some of them did project just this last weekend, and I'm proud of them. Some did radio station, and the radio station is playing live on their system. They had to use API, what they call API, to source fetch this thing from the web, and it was playing live on the screen. So I'm just showing you all these things because there is more to do with HTML. Okay, there is so much more to do with this web development. It's not just, oh, we are not playing here or trying to make people feel somehow. Okay, let me show you one of my very first projects. Let me just show you before I close the class now. One of my very first projects, which I showed Mr. Dave, and I built a school website. I built a school website, and with that, I actually did something. Let me show you something. Okay, this is index of my school website. Let me run this one since you asked for the projects we've done so far. Now, this is one complete project I did. Now, this is my website. Okay. Now, if I scroll down, you see what I did. See, this is what I did. This is a complete school website. Now you see this one, Lagos. If I hover here, you can see Abuja. This one, okay, London. You can see all these fancy things I did. When I put my cursor on it, it changes color and it brings out a name. Okay, so this is for facilities. We have library, we have computer lab and everything. Now this for the testimonial of students. Okay, now you can see my name is written down here.
Awesome.
Yes, boss.
Have you done that iPad test? If you click that link, this will take you to your LinkedIn direct.
No. I didn't put it to my LinkedIn account.
What about your
I
Facebook?
just left it. Or
so
on other website.
Okay, once you're
that.
bidding, okay. Once you're bidding something like that, I wouldn't want it to be static. So that once somebody comes in, if it's you click that Facebook icon, it takes them to your Facebook direct. It clicks that and this thing, LinkedIn, it takes them to your LinkedIn direct, LinkedIn account inside your website.
Yes, something like that. So this one is for about page.
Okay.
About page, about the company. Okay. This one is for the courses we offer, something like this. I just did something, a few things like this. Okay. Now this one is for the contact. You can see my contact. See my contact and everything. Then if you send a message here now, I'll receive it in my email. I had to link this one to my email using a particular domain listing, just free something I use. So these are many things you can do. You can create anything. My logo in class for my students is, as far as you can see it, you can do it. That's what I believe. As far as you can see it, you can do it. It just takes one step at a time. If it's all these things, these are icons. You can add icons to your work. Like I told you how to add all those dollar sign, naira sign, and the rest, and also emoji. You can still add icons to your work and write anything you want to write. It all depends on what you want to do. Okay. So as time goes on, you'll be learning. Now you know the first phase of web development. Okay. The next one will be to start styling them, how to put all these functionalities that when you put your cursor here, the line will come out, or when you click, I want to go back home, see now, home has appeared. Something like this. Okay. So it all depends on what you want to do.
Hello,
it all depends. If you check this one I did now and this one, sir.
So what we'll
I'm
do
listening,
is,
sir.
what we'll do is this. After I believe you're done with HTML, Abby.
Yes.
Okay, if you want to start CSS next week, no problem. What we'll do after your CSS class, I wouldn't want you to jump into JavaScript. So after CSS class, complete CSS, then I want you to pick up a small project. It's very small. To me, bulky, not much, right? No much tests. Just a small project that you just work on. That project might take about, let's say, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, depend, or 1 month. So you just be building it, that small project, just to align what you've thought so far. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
Okay.
So it's good as you're doing it. This what you're doing now is, I call it a fantastic way of teaching, because you are breaking it down. You are breaking everything into smaller pieces. So that somebody that's watching can be able to understand, okay, if I want to put video, if I want to put audio, if I want to be able to know the elements and the tag to use in creating such a site. So what you do now is which is very, very good. You do the same in CSS, right? You just teach how to align text, how to font size and other stuff like that. But I don't know if you know how to use Google font size, how to connect your Google font size to your. I don't know if you know how to use that.
I can do that, but
Okay.
I have Bootstrap this thing installed on my phone, on my system actually. But I can still go, since we are using online to catch
Bootstrap is another Bootstrap is a CSS framework. So it
like
makes
framework. No, I'm just talking about the folder, whereby you can get the icons. Okay.
Okay.
Yes, we can do that, and I can also connect to the web to even get some of those things. I will show them when we are doing CSS.
It's all right.
That's where we have to work with this part now. Like trying to see this part now. I'm going to show you. Let me increase the screen. This part now, linking CSS. We've not linked anything. I only talked about it in my video. So when we want to start CSS, that's external CSS itself, we're going to link it. I'm going to do inline CSS, internal CSS, and external CSS, so that everybody will see how it's being done. And this one now, I'm linking Bootstrap. You see Bootstrap icons here. So there are many. Even the Google font, I can add Google font by clicking on the link.
I wouldn't want you to call Bootstrap, because if you call Bootstrap, I don't want Mr. George to get confused. I want him to learn piece by. I want him to learn piece by piece.
No, I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you.
Okay.
I'm talking to you actually.
It's all right.
So
no
that's
problem.
it. There's so many and more to learn in this.
It's all right.
It's just a matter of time and everything.
It's all right. So
hopefully by next weekend, I'll try my best, because by next week Saturday I'll be traveling to Lagos. Okay, so when I get to Lagos, I'll just prepare myself for the class in the evening, so I can just I can start off the CSS. Okay.
All right. So thank you. So thank you so much for this.
Much.
Thank you. George, I just want to encourage you. Keep learning. Forget about this. You see this race of tech race. You are the only one. You are the only one. You are on your own, because whatever you learn today, it will surely yield tomorrow. I remember when Mr. Austin that is teaching us now. I remember when he started, he came to meet me, and I had to give him that motivation. I said, okay, I had to give him material, give him some things, and today now you see what he's doing. So it depends on your seriousness. You can pick this thing 2 months, 3 months. It depends on how serious you are. And as a matter of fact, this can be a major breakthrough for you. Like I told you, I have that idea about tech. I can build site, but I focus more on managing projects, which means software engineers, they are under my custody. I manage them. That is just it. So, but I don't want to just engage myself in so many things, and I just want to put myself in a way that whereby I'm able to at least, I just like managerial position. That's just me. So that is just why I had to create this platform in order to build is a vision. Because once you become something with this tomorrow, I will be so glad that yes, God used me to touch so person. And it's not just people that I know, people all over the world, which I believe, and that's the vision. So tomorrow, you can come on board to teach. I will be so happy to see you teach also, because the more you teach, the more you learn. The more you teach, the more you grow. Because somebody taught me, that is the truth. So I have to come up with this vision to make sure that people that are close to me, even people that are not even close to me, benefit from this thing. That is just the goal. So I want to encourage you to keep doing what you're doing. Don't give up. It's kind of a little bit tough when you start. What is this? What is happening? Yes, that is it. When it's getting tough, that is when you're breaking through. That is one thing I want you to know. Once it's getting tough, that is when you're breaking through. So it can be easy. Yes, people are jumping into tech because they say tech. But not everybody are really focusing. Many people many people jump out in the middle of the way because they can't even continue with they feel it's stressful. So I just want to encourage you, just keep on what you're doing. By next week, he will come on board to teach us CSS piece by piece like that. Then after that, but I don't want him to even take JavaScript. I have someone that will take JavaScript, right? So I don't want to jump JavaScript or Java programming. Why you don't even know all this basic aspect of building web? First of all, we have to know all those basics before we move to other dimensions that are very, very high, a high level. I have other people that want to come on board, but I don't want to bring them because what they want to teach is advanced. So if you don't know this basic, if they start teaching, you might be confused, and even along the way, you might just quit. So that's why I don't want it at all. Very soon I will even bring software that can even come and teach us Google search engine, SEO, search engine optimization. So so that we can also be working with they are in the group there. They are just waiting for me to call them so that they can come, but I don't want to bring them. There are people I want us to learn this basic first, get the basics of what we need to get. It's step by step. It's the same thing Bootstrap. I have someone that can teach Bootstrap very, 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 very well. But I don't want to jump into because Bootstrap is a CSS. If you don't know how to use CSS, how will you even know about Bootstrap? Because Bootstrap is another thing entirely. So it makes your work very, very easier. I have someone that can teach that, but I want us to cover HTML, CSS, and also build a small project with HTML. Before we now move to Bootstrap, you master everything. Once you master everything, the next dimension, you can take whatever you want to do. You can, there are many career paths in what you can decide to be a web developer. You can decide to be a back-end engineer, front-end engineer. You can decide to be I don't know what you said you want to do then. Cybersecurity. Cybersecurity, of course, you're securing websites. You're securing web. So you must know how to build websites before you can know how to secure whatever it is. That is it. You don't just go into start. So you see how everything is coming to play. So that's why we don't want to rush this thing. We don't just want to do it gradually, step by step. So you pick what you need to pick. At the end of the day, you can decide, let me just relax in this particular aspect, depending on what your capacity can carry. So I just want to encourage you to just keep doing what you're doing. Keep practicing. That's the goal. You have a goal, you have a target. You can set, okay, before this year comes to an end, I should be able to use CSS, JavaScript, and HTML. It's a target to have that target. Then let's say I can be able to use Bootstrap, this, that. When we start introducing all those ones, very, very well. You will discover before the middle of next year, maybe you'll be dangerous in this thing. You'll be so dangerous. And that's what I'm looking at. That's the goal for me. That's the goal I have for everybody in the platform. Everybody. And that is just what it is, right? So thank you very much for attending. Thank you so much. And
thank you.
Just keep on practicing. There is hope. That is the truth. That's what I will tell you. There is hope. It's tough, yes, but there is hope, right? So thank you so much, Mr. Austin. Thank you so much for dedicating your time. You see, God will lift you up. You will see the dimension. That's what I believe. You will see that you've not seen anything. The one you just got is just a little. You will see the level that God will bring you, because God told me build men. And how do I build men? Say build men with what I've given you, and I have to come up with this. So you will see the dimension. So long as you're joining me to build men, men also will build. Will join you to do whatever you want to do, as regards to the vision of God upon your life, and that's what will happen, right? So thank you so much. I appreciate you, and I'm going to share this video once we end this class. Now I'm going to share it, though I've shared the previous one. So thank you so much. So till next week we meet again. We'll continue from there. I yield the mic. All right.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.